allowing slip when pressed improperly with a finger or thumb. So the DGCA there going on to say that the switch in itself was not faulty, but maybe an error in how pressure was applied to that switch. That's something that could have caused this particular snag on board that Heathrow-Bengaluru flight. Anvit, my colleague, continues to be with us, getting us more details. Anvit, it's these contradictory claims coming in from the Civil Aviation Watchdog and Air India. What's really brewing here?
Exactly what I was saying, that investigators need to look into the detail of whether it was a mechanical glitch or an electrical one. Because if it was mechanical, then probably it was only the problem with how the fuel switches were placed. But if it is electronical, then it can also lead to cut in the fuel supply, because generally fuel supply regulate the fuel switches regulate the supply of fuel to the engines. If it was an electrical failure, electrical malfunction, then when the pilot says the switch is not locking not staying in the lock position, then it could have very well meant that fuel supply is also certainly somewhere or the other being hindered. That could have been a big thing. But if it's only a mechanical issue, then there could be a possibility of that probably the make of the switch, or the upper area of it, or maybe the how the pilot was controlling it. That could have certain differences as to how it needs to be performed. So there could be differences, mechanical or electrical, that DGCA as well as the Air India needs to come out clear with this. They have not been sharing it clearly. They've also not been sharing why this flight was taken when pilot had encountered this glitch, whether he had seen it before the flight or not. Why were the passengers not told that there could be some such a problem on the flight, and why that flight decision was taken not to ground that flight in Heathrow itself? So there are multiple questions that needs to be answered. DGCA has now come and they've said that there's no issue with the fuel switch. Their detailed teams from DGCA must have they have inspected these switches. But Air India has now made it clear that they will certainly be, regardless of that, will be sending it back to Boeing for a detailed inspection. And in the meanwhile, they'll be asking them to fit another pair of fuel switch in this particular aircraft, so that this can be brought back into service, and there would be no chance of any risk to any passenger's life. This is what Air India is claiming. But
Now,
DGCA
Anvit, as
coming
far
out and
as
saying
this
that there's no
DGCA
problem with
statement is
the
concerned, now, Anvit, as far as the DGCA statement is concerned, they go on to talk about how the inspection of this switch was satisfactory, and that there was that the lapse or the snag, so to say, could have happened due to an external force or an external angle in which it was pressed or not pressed. They seem to be hinting at pilot error in this case, if I've got that correct?
Yes, kind of. And this debate was yesterday also being done. We spoke to some civil aviation experts also, and they have also said that this could be possible, but this can't be ruled out that there could also be a mechanical failure here. So even DGCA will come out with a detailed report. They must come out with a detailed report also as to what went wrong exactly. And when the pilot has said that the fuel switch isn't sticking in the lock position, then that certainly demands a detailed investigation. Air India is sending switches to Boeing, but that does not complete the responsibility here, because when this happened, there and then this needed to be flagged. That flight should have been grounded. It shouldn't have flown, 11, 12 hours back to Bangalore, and
Right.
then being flagged that there's a problem with the fuel switch. So hundreds of lives were put at stake if there's certainly an issue with it. But electronic or mechanical, that needs to be made clear. If it is electrical, then there could be a repercussion as bigger of that magnitude as it was with AI 171, and that's something that we would not want to be repeated again.
Right, do stay on with us, Anvit. Captain Kabir Malik is also joining us on the broadcast to get this into perspective. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. How do you look at what the DGCA has now put out, the Civil Aviation Watchdog there, perhaps hinting at the fact that it wasn't really a lapse or a snag on part of the mechanics in itself, but could have been pilot error, if I'm reading that correctly from what the statement says?
See, when I saw yesterday also, and the statement was very clear from my side, this problem is with this machinery is 100%, because the technical department of this Boeing, they already declared almost 10 years back that this problem will come after the 10 years of manufacturing of this aircraft. And I'm 100% sure this problem was there and absolutely is there. Why the DGCA are trying to hide this situation from the department and the government? It is really very shocking, because if they will play such these kind of role for the towards of safety norms, definitely our passengers and the country people will be in danger. So they have to be completely look on that and have to investigate properly with the technical department. When the pilot is already declared that this problem had been came in his knowledge when he was in Heathrow Airport, and after landing in Bengaluru, the same problem he saw after the landing also. So we could not be denied and be just ignore this technical clinch from and we cannot be trust on DGCA. DGCA always try to hide these kind of problems from the public. Secondly, I would like to be in your knowledge that when this 171 preliminary report has been came from the DGC and the technical department, they raised the questions on this fuel technical switch. The same problem on the same series aircraft yesterday also happened. So I'm really shocked why they are playing with the people's life. Really very shocking for this. And I don't think so. This matter is to be ignorable. They have to be taken on the priority. And
but Captain Malik, then what is the solution to this? I mean, if we have Air India who's saying A particular thing and then the watchdog saying B particular thing, what comes next? What is it that the government perhaps should be doing in your opinion?
Madam, yesterday I said that they have to discontinue this kind of 787 series of aircrafts from the service until unless they will not have the complete and permanent solution such these kind of problem. If they will not be discontinue this kind of aircraft, so definitely we will face the again same kind of air incident upcoming in future also. So we have to be very particular and we have to be strict, and definitely the action has to be taken by the government in very strongly towards of the Air India also and towards of Boeing machine also.
Captain Kabir Malik, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 and sharing your perspective on that. And with my colleague, we'll continue to get us more details. But this is a big twist that has come to the fore as far as the Air India Boeing 787 technical snag is concerned. This was on board a Heathrow-Bengaluru flight. Despite there being a faulty switch, the pilot flew from Heathrow in London to Bengaluru. Why is it that the issue was only flagged off upon arrival in Bengaluru? Why did the aircraft fly for as long as it did? Is a question many are asking. At such a time, the DGCA has now come out and put the onus on the pilot as far as this fuel switch is concerned, going on to say that there seems to be some amount of external pressure or the angle in which the switch was pushed. That seems to have caused this issue, and it wasn't really a mechanical fault as such of this fuel cutoff switch. We'll of course keep a track of what transpires in this particular case because it is about passenger safety. Air India flies hundreds, thousands of flights every day. Thousands of passengers fly on those flights. If there is an issue with the Boeing 787 fleet that the Air India flies, then that needs to be addressed, and we'll keep asking those questions. But for now, it's time for a quick break on this edition of Nation at 5.
Inside details that are now being revealed to us by top government sources. CNN News 18, your channel viewers, the one which has always kept you ahead on this story, that no compromises will be made on the interests of Indian farmers and dairy-sensitive sectors. These sectors will remain protected, and that's a commitment that this government has made to the electorate and to all those constituencies who are involved in these sensitive sectors. Be buying oil from non-sanctioned entities only.
The discounts on Russian oil had come down substantially in the last year or so. Since Rosneft and Lukoil, the two biggest Russian oil producers, were sanctioned internationally, it just didn't make sense to buy Russian oil anymore.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, let's go across to Rahul Shivshankar. He's got some breaking news with him.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. We were paying close attention to the numbers that you were putting out. And let's just keep Zach also on screen as well as the breaking news plate, because I've got some inside details of this trade deal, at least inside details that are now being revealed to us by top government sources. And what I can tell you is that in explicit terms, and I've just got this hot off the source, in explicit terms, no compromise will be made by the Indian government on the most sensitive sectors concerning the Indian economy, which are the interests of the farmers and the dairy sectors and other allied sensitive sectors in which we have huge stakes of employability. They will remain protected. So whatever Mr. Trump said about making huge concessions, zero tariffs, etc., and agricultural sectors and other sensitive sectors, this particular source has told me that those are not on the table. Those sectors, these sensitive sectors, Zach, are not on the table. Second, oil purchases. Now, Donald Trump, in his message on Truth Social yesterday, had made it explicitly clear that India will halt purchases of Russian oil. Now, what I am being told is, and it's a slightly nuanced statement, that India will continue to put people first when it comes to making decisions about sourcing its energy requirements. Market prices will determine our purchasing strategy. And we will, however, be buying oil from non-sanctioned entities only. So this is very clearly stated that India will continue to import its oil and energy supplies based on market prices and will put people first. So we will continue to get the best deals from markets which are in a position to give us those big concessions, etc. The proviso being that we will not obviously purchase oil from sanctioned companies or entities. And on the $600 billion question, the $500 billion question that Trump has sort of floated as India is going to be purchasing Americana plus $500 billion worth of goods, American goods across certain sectors, we're being told that yes, while we will unlock the potential of the Indo-US relationship through multiple avenues, commitments of imports, investment companies, as well as extended cooperation across various sectors will continue. So India already, for example, purchases aircrafts.
Yeah.
We also do imports of about $45 to $50 billion. And we are also investing in the American economy to the tune of $25 to $30 billion. If you add that, that's straight away about $100 billion of business there and then. So over the next 5, 7, 8 years, we will be, of course, exploring this gap of opportunity and look to bridge it.
In Hindi and in English. Thank you. Over to sir.
मित्रों, आज हर भारतवासी देश भर में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का साधुवाद कर रहा है कि उन्होंने यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के साथ एक बहुत ही बढ़िया ट्रेड डील, जिसका देशवासियों को कई महीनों से इंतजार था, संपन्न किया है। देशहित और जनहित को सामने रखते हुए एक बड़ा मजबूत भारत के भविष्य को चार चांद लगाने वाला ट्रेड डील माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में कल रात फाइनलाइज किया गया है। मैं 140 करोड़ देशवासियों की तरफ से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं और आप सभी को बधाई देता हूं, क्योंकि ये वास्तव में भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को, भारत के 140 करोड़ नागरिकों को, हर गरीब, किसान, मछुआरा, गांव में रहने वाला युवा, युवती, हमारी बहनें, महिलाएं, सभी के लिए ढेर सारे अवसर लाने वाला ट्रेड डील माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कल तय किया। साधारणतः तो हम पार्लियामेंट में बोलना चाहते थे इसके बारे में, लेकिन हम सबने देखा वो भद्दा दृश्य, जिस प्रकार से विपक्ष, विशेषकर राहुल गांधी जी के नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके मित्र पक्ष डीएमके, तृणमूल कांग्रेस, समाजवादी पार्टी, कितना भद्दा व्यवहार आज उन्होंने पार्लियामेंट में किया। माननीय अध्यक्ष जी की आसन तक पहुंचकर उनका अपमान किया। मैं घोर निंदा करता हूं विपक्ष की, राहुल गांधी जी की, जिसके कारण हम पार्लियामेंट के बदले आज आपके समक्ष यहां पे जानकारी देने आए हैं। हम सब जानते हैं कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने मित्रता के रखते प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप के साथ जो उनके आत्मीय संबंध है, उसके मद्देनजर जो ट्रेड डील यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के साथ फाइनलाइज की है, वो हमारे सभी पड़ोसी, सभी आसपास के देश, सभी जो देश हमारे साथ स्पर्धा करते हैं, उन सभी देशों में सबसे बढ़िया डील भारत को मिली है। आप सबको, हम सबको मिली है, जो देशवासियों के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए शुभ संकेत लाती है। हम सब जानते हैं महीनों से हमारी नेगोशिएटिंग टीम्स यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के अधिकारियों के साथ, मंत्रियों के साथ लगातार डायलॉग बनाए हुए थी, बातचीत में कर रही थी। कई सारे जटिल विषय थे, कई सारी समस्याएं थी। भारत के ऊपर 50% रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ लगा हुआ था। उद्योग जगत को, हमारे किसानों को जो बड़ी मात्रा में निर्यात करते हैं, सभी को तकलीफ हो रही थी। हमारे मरीन एक्सपोर्टर्स, सी फूड एक्सपोर्टर्स भी दिक्कत में थे। वस्त्र क्षेत्र, टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर में भी आवश्यकता थी कि ये रेट कम हो। यहां तक कि कुछ दिन पहले तक विपक्ष के नेता भी हमें पूछ रहे थे कि कब होगा यूएस डील। और मैं हैरान हूं, ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स जो राहुल गांधी जी बार बार दिखाते हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कल इतनी बढ़िया डील भारत के लिए तय की है, जो इतने वर्ष, एक महीनों में हम तय नहीं कर पा रहे थे। उन्होंने अपने मित्रता के आधार पर भारत के हितों को प्राथमिकता देते हुए और भारत की तेज गति से बढ़ती हुई अर्थव्यवस्था को विश्व के सामने जिस प्रकार से पेश किया है, उसके चलते भारत को यह बढ़िया डील माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में मिली है। मैं पुनः एक बार उनके नेतृत्व के लिए, उनके मार्गदर्शन के लिए और जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने जनहित और देशहित को संभाला है, उसके लिए उनका धन्यवाद करता हूं। मित्रों, हम सब जानते हैं, पूरा देश जानता है किस प्रकार से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री हमेशा हमारे किसानों के लिए, पशुपालन के साथ जुड़े हुए हमारे भाई बहनों के लिए, डेयरी सेक्टर के लिए लगातार चिंतित रहते हैं, उनके हितों की संरक्षण करते हैं। यहां तक कि हमने देखा इतना बड़ा ट्रेड डील, रीजनल कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक पार्टनरशिप आरसेप, जिसमें कांग्रेस ने भारत को झोंक दिया था, 2011-12 में एक प्रकार से चाइना के साथ एफटीए करने का पाप राहुल गांधी ने किया था, उससे भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देश को बचाया और आरसेप से जुड़ने से इनकार कर दिया, जिसके बाद पूरे देश में राहत की सब चारों ओर से सूचना आई थी। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमेशा एग्रीकल्चर और डेयरी इन दोनों सेक्टर्स को संभाला है, उनके हितों को संभाला है और इस क्षेत्र में लोगों को उज्जवल भविष्य मिले और मौके मिले, आमदनी बढ़े, उसके लिए लगातार काम किया है। कभी उनके साथ, उनके हितों के साथ समझौता माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने नहीं होने दिया और मुझे खुशी है कि पूरा देश इस बात को समझता है, इस बात का उनको आकलन है और यूएस ट्रेड डील में भी भारत के जो सेंसिटिव सेक्टर्स हैं, एग्रीकल्चर को लेके, डेयरी को लेके, उनको संरक्षित किया गया है। हमने पूरे देश भर से आई हुई खबरों को देखा, चारों ओर उल्लास है। हमारे जितने लोग भारत के निर्यात में जुड़े हुए हैं, भारत के टेक्नोलॉजी सेक्टर से जुड़े हुए हैं, भारत में नई आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी लाकर यहाँ ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन्स, ग्लोबल वैल्यू चेन्स का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हैं, ग्लोबल कैपेबिलिटी सेंटर्स लगाना चाहते हैं, निवेश करना चाहते हैं। अलग अलग क्षेत्र जो विशेषकर लेबर इंटेंसिव है, जिसमें लाखों करोड़ों लोगों को नौकरी का, रोजगार का साधन मिलता है, वो सब कितने उत्साहित हैं इस ट्रेड डील से। हमारे मछुआरे जो सी फूड एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, उन्होंने जिस प्रकार से सभी कोस्टल रीजन्स में खुशी मनाई है, ये दर्शाता है कि ये ट्रेड डील भारत के उज्जवल भविष्य का शुभ संकेत लेके आई है। मित्रों, मैं मानता हूं कि इस ट्रेड डील से हमारे जो सूक्ष्म, लघु और मध्यम उद्योग है, एमएसएमई सेक्टर है, हमारे इंजीनियरिंग सेक्टर के सभी प्लेयर्स, चाहे ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स बनाते हो, एयरक्राफ्ट पार्ट्स बनाते हो, इंजीनियरिंग के अलग अलग प्रकार के सामान अमेरिका में बेचने का काम करते हो या भविष्य में करना चाहें, हमारे टेक्सटाइल क्षेत्र, हमारा जेम एंड ज्वेलरी सेक्टर, हमारा लेदर गुड सेक्टर, हमारा मरीन गुड सेक्टर, सभी को ढेर सारे अवसर, ढेर सारे मौके इस ट्रेड डील के माध्यम से मिलेंगे। बड़ा दुर्भाग्य है कि राहुल गांधी जैसे नकारात्मक सोच रखने वाले नेता देश को आज गुमराह या भ्रमित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। मैं घोर निंदा करता हूं राहुल गांधी जी की। झूठ और फरेब के नाम पे वो लोगों को गुमराह करना चाहते हैं। उनको देश की तरक्की से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, विश्व की सबसे तेज गति से बढ़ने वाली अर्थव्यवस्था बना है, उनको उससे कोई दिलचस्पी नहीं है। उनका बस चले तो जिस प्रकार से यूपीए के राज में, कांग्रेस के राज में 10 वर्षों में उन्होंने भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को ध्वस्त कर दिया था, फ्रेजाइल 5 इकोनॉमी बना दी, महंगाई से लोगों को परेशान कर दिया, विकास यात्रा ठप कर दी। उनका बस चलेगा तो भारत को फिर एक बार उसी प्रकार से देखना चाहेंगे। और मुझे नहीं लगता भारत का एक भी व्यक्ति, एक भी नागरिक उनके इस भ्रामक सोच के साथ अपने आप को जोड़ सकता है। राहुल गांधी जी एक नकारात्मक सोच के प्रतीक है और उनके साथ जुड़कर डीएमके पार्टी के नेता हो, तृणमूल के नेता हो, चाहे वो समाजवादी पार्टी के नेता हो, इन सभी ने शायद भारत के उज्जवल भविष्य, हमारे युवा युवतियों को जो नए अवसर मिल रहे हैं, जो हमारा उद्योग तेज गति से आगे प्रगति करने के लिए तत्पर है, जो नए नए क्षेत्र, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो, सेमीकंडक्टर्स हो, क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स हो, नए नए अति आधुनिक जो क्षेत्र खुल रहे हैं, उसमें जो हमें यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका से मदद मिल सकती है, जो वहां से हमें सामान मिल सकता है, हाई क्वालिटी हाई परफॉर्मेंस डेटा सेंटर्स भारत में आ सकते हैं, लाखों करोड़ रुपए का जो निवेश हम भारत में आकर्षित करने में जुटे हुए हैं। राहुल गांधी जी को क्या मिर्ची लगती है? राहुल गांधी जी को देश की प्रगति से नफरत है? राहुल गांधी जी को हमारी बहनों से, हमारे युवा युवतियों से कोई नाराजगी है, जो उनका उज्जवल भविष्य उनसे देखा नहीं जाता है? उन्होंने जवाब देना पड़ेगा देश की जनता को कि इस नकारात्मक सोच के पीछे वो क्या चाहते हैं। और मित्रों, मैं पूरी तरीके से निंदा करता हूं राहुल गांधी जी और उनके सभी पार्टी और मित्र पक्ष के नेताओं का, जो इस प्रकार की ओछी सोच, नकारात्मक सोच फैलाने का पाप कर रहे हैं। वो भारत का उज्जवल भविष्य नहीं चाहते। वो हर प्रकार से राजनीतिक अराजकता फैलाने की कोशिश करते हैं। पार्लियामेंट में आपने उनका रवैया देखा, उनका सोच पूरे देश ने देखा। वो हमारे आर्मी के जवानों पर कम विश्वास करते हैं, हमारे सेना के ऊपर प्रश्न चिन्ह उठाते हैं, हमारे उद्योग जगत के भविष्य को खराब करना चाहते हैं। मुझे लगता है अब समय आ गया है कि देश की जनता, राहुल गांधी जी हो, ममता बनर्जी जी हो, चाहे तृणमूल के अभिषेक बैनर्जी हो या तमिलनाडु के एमके स्टालिन, उदयनिधि स्टालिन, श्री बालू जी, श्री मारन जी, कानीमोजी जी, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के नेता, समाजवादी के अखिलेश यादव जी, देश की जनता इन सब नेताओं से माफी मांगेगी और उनको जवाबदेही ठहराएगी उनके इस नकारात्मक रवैये के लिए। वो जनहित के पूरी तरीके से खिलाफ है, वो देश की प्रगति, देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के खिलाफ है। अनाप शनाप आरोप लगा रहे हैं और जिस प्रकार के विषय उठा रहे हैं। एक नेता ने पूछा, अमेरिकी अध्यक्ष ने, अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति ने पहले क्यों ट्वीट किया? अरे भाई, रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ तो अमेरिका ने लगाया था, अमेरिका ने रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ कम करना था। तो जब उनको टैरिफ कम करना है और 50 से सीधा 18% इतना कम हुआ, तो उसकी जानकारी तो उधर से ही आएगी। स्वाभाविक है कि उनको टैरिफ कम करना है, तो उसकी जानकारी राष्ट्रपति माननीय डोनाल्ड ट्रंप जी देंगे। और इस मौके पे मैं माननीय राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं, जिन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मित्रता का सम्मान किया। उन्होंने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को विश्व का, हमारे स्पर्धा वाले देशों में सबसे अच्छा बढ़िया ट्रेड डील दिया और आगे चल के भारत और अमेरिका के बीच संबंध और मजबूत हो और उज्जवल भविष्य दोनों देशों के लोगों का हम सुनिश्चित करें, उसकी शुभेच्छा दी और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि ये जो ट्रेड डील की गई है ये मात्र एक ट्रेड डील नहीं है, ये एक पड़ाव है भारत के उज्जवल भविष्य का। ये आगे आने वाले दिनों का शुभ संकेत है जब भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था और तेजी से आगे बढ़ेगी। आज चारों ओर इसकी सराहना देखने को मिलती है। कल रात से ही जिस प्रकार से देश और विदेश में लोग इस डील की तारीफ कर रहे हैं, जिस प्रकार से चारों ओर लोग सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं भारत और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के बीच ये डील, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि ये जो जनता ने ठुकराए हुए नेता हैं, द फेल्ड ग्रुप ऑफ disparate, disgruntled and rejected leaders of the Congress party and their friends in the DMK, Trinamool Congress, Communist parties, Samajwadi Party, the entire India Alliance leaders who have failed India very badly, who have failed Bharat in all respects, will be rejected by the people of India, who will teach them a lesson for their negativity and for their anti-India, anti-national thinking. Friends, we stand for the people of India, we stand for national interest, and today 140 crore Indians are celebrating a trade deal which is under final stages of detailing between the negotiating teams of both countries. We will be shortly issuing a joint statement by both countries along with the details which we will be shortly inking between the United States of America and India. And as soon as the final understanding of the deal is inked and the joint statement is finalized, technical processes are completed, full details will be shared. But I can assure the people of India, I can assure 140 crore brothers and sisters that this is a deal that will make every Indian proud, that will protect the interest of every Indian and provide huge opportunities for all the people of India and will protect the sensitive sectors, the interests of our agriculture and our dairy sectors in full respect, opening up huge opportunities for our labor-intensive sectors, export sectors in textiles, plastics, apparel, home decor, leather and footwear, gems and jewelry, organic chemicals, rubber goods, machineries, so many products, aircraft components. This is truly a deal that every Indian can be proud of. India is a fast-growing economy. We are the fastest-growing large economy in the country, in the world. India's demand is continuously increasing. Our demand for ICT products, our demand for data center equipment, our demand for high-quality technology and innovation, our demand for raw materials is continuously rising. And in that situation, this deal also opens up opportunities for India to get the best-in-class, world-class technologies to further power the India growth story, the Indian economy. I commend this deal to every Indian, to 140 crore Bharatvasis. Thank you very much.
Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal there confirming that the trade deal is going to be benefiting the people of this country, sectors of this country, unlike what the opposition has been pointing to. A point-by-point rebuttal by Piyush Goyal against the claims that have been made by opposition leaders, including the Congress. No compromises have been made was a clear message that the Commerce Ministry sent out. The Commerce Minister there making it clear that the fine print will eventually come out. There will be a joint statement issued by United States and India in which all of the unknowns will be answered. Several questions have been raised over what concessions have been made, what compromises have been reached. Allegations of the Indian government being a sellout were made by the opposition. That's something that the Commerce Minister has come out and clarified and rebutted in equal measure. Pallavi, my colleague, now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Pallavi, the Commerce Minister there making it clear that negotiations are still being finalized. A joint statement will be issued by both sides where the fine print will be clear.
Yes, absolutely. And the statements which have come in from the American administration, I think the Commerce Minister tried to make the point very subtly that they are not the final talk. Negotiations are still going on. There is going to be a joint statement, and the joint statement will have the details of the Indo-US trade deal. So therefore, all speculations which are taking place, and more importantly, his attack was on the opposition parties for suggesting that the deal was going out against the interest of the people of India, like the farmers, like the fishermen. All those allegations are baseless.
The Commerce Minister there making it very clear that they would have liked to make this statement on the floor of the House as Parliament is in session. But unfortunately, we saw the kind of pandemonium that we did in Lok Sabha, which forced adjournments multiple times eventually for the day. Pallavi, for the moment though, thank you so much for putting that in perspective for us and getting us those details. We'll keep a track of that and much more here on CNN News 18. But it's a wrap from my side. Thank you so much for tuning in.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
All right, let's go across to Rahul Shivshankar. He's got some breaking news with him.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. We were paying close attention to the numbers that you were putting out. And let's just keep Zach also on screen as well as the breaking news plate, because I've got some inside details of this trade deal, at least inside details that are now being revealed to us by top government sources. And what I can tell you is that in explicit terms, and I've just got this hot off the source, in explicit terms, no compromise will be made by the Indian government on the most sensitive sectors concerning the Indian economy, which are the interests of the farmers and the dairy sectors and other allied sensitive sectors in which we have huge stakes of employability. They will remain protected. So whatever Mr. Trump said about making huge concessions, zero tariffs, etc., in agricultural sectors and other sensitive sectors, this particular source has told me that those are not on the table. Those sectors, these sensitive sectors, Zach, are not on the table. Second, oil purchases. Now, Donald Trump, in his message on Truth Social yesterday, had made it explicitly clear that India will halt purchases of Russian oil. Now, what I am being told is, and it's a slightly nuanced statement, that India will continue to put people first when it comes to making decisions about sourcing its energy requirements. Market prices will determine our purchasing strategy. And we will, however, be buying oil from non-sanctioned entities only. So this is very clearly stated that India will continue to import its oil and energy supplies based on market prices and will put people first. So we will continue to get the best deals from markets which are in a position to give us those big concessions, etc. The proviso being that we will not obviously purchase oil from sanctioned companies or entities. And on the $600 billion question, the $500 billion question that Trump has sort of floated as India is going to be purchasing Americana plus $500 billion worth of goods, American goods across certain sectors. We're being told that yes, while we will unlock the potential of the Indo-US relationship through multiple avenues, commitments of imports, investment companies, as well as extended cooperation across various sectors will continue. So India already, for example, purchases aircrafts.
Yeah.
We also do imports of about $45 to $50 billion. And we are also investing in the American economy to the tune of $25 to $30 billion. If you add that, that's straight away about $100 billion of business there and then. So over the next 5, 7, 8 years, we will be, of course, exploring this gap of opportunity and look to bridge it, narrow it through the unlocking now of American markets. And that is why this number, which is an incremental number, has been put by Donald Trump as $500 billion. So these are the three big takeaways from this. I'm also going to bring